So yeah, the Fallout 4 trailer.
Fallout.
It was alright.
Okay.
Oh man, I had the biggest nerd boner from like the moment the countdown timer went up.
Oh man. Oh no good.
Everyone knew from the timer what it was.
Oh yeah.
Not to mention the leaks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, was the leak that happened like 2 weeks ago that was like confirmed as being fake now like unconfirmed because it was real?
Wait, they said that the leak was fake?
I thought it was confirmed fake.
Just to kind of cover that. Cover-ups. Conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. But
Either way, it's coming out. It's a thing.
yeah, thank God.
Seriously.
That's beautiful. I can't wait.
After how long and how many times we were all expecting it, and then finally it happens.
It makes sense in a way that it took as long as it did just because of how much other stuff Bethesda was doing in that time.
Oh,
Yeah.
And like it's not like we were starved for Bethesda games, just everybody wanted Fallout and they finally did it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, yes.
And that's the thing too, like I'm glad they've taken the time. Like even though everyone is like expecting it, they weren't just kind of like
They didn't just shove it out and make money off of it.
Oh, so you want Fallout 4? Cool. Well, here it is. It's half-assed. It's not done. There's all these glitches. Merry Christmas. And I don't know. I appreciate that. But yes, going back on what we kind of talked about earlier, I'm wondering when they're going to release it. Now, a lot of people are saying it could be this year.
Well, that's actually what their website says. If you try to pre-order it, it says this year. It says 2015.
Well, I mean, when we worked for that company, any game that say is coming out...
This is the Fallout 4 official site that says that. I mean, granted, nothing's set in stone, but the Fallout 4 official site is saying 2015.
I mean, I'm a StarCraft fan. Just knowing that it's coming is good enough.
Right.
That's true. And yeah, I almost wanted it to be next year just because of so many games last year that came out, before they were really ready. But
Won't name any names. Ubisoft.
Listen to our other podcasts. I don't know. Like you mentioned before, like we don't know really how long this has actually been in the works. I mean, it could have been since, Fallout 3 was already released.
Yeah.
And, if this is ready to go tomorrow, awesome. Like, I'm ready for it. I know a lot of people are ready for it.
Hey, I'll deal with a day one patch. I don't care.
Exactly.
I bet Fallout 4 is what they were working on when they were supposed to be working on ESO and Rage.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Rage was good.
I didn't enjoy
It was fun
that
for
game.
what it was.
But wasn't it, like, hella
But
short?
didn't Bethesda not develop that game? Didn't they publish it? I thought it was id Software that did Rage.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
Yeah. The
I
Doom,
don't know.
the
I
Doom
remember
guys.
looking at a list of
It was pretty.
Bethesda games a while ago because, like, we all know there's a company that I hate very much and another company that's been pretty disappointing lately. And I was trying to think if there's any company that, like, has, like, a flawless track record. And I decided to look at Bethesda, and I was like, nope.
Nope.
Oh.
No company really has a flawless
No.
record. Naughty Dog's pretty
well,
close.
Troika, but...
Naughty Dog does pretty much from, like, Uncharted 1 on.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah.
Some of the Crash games were kind of...
Those are still fun, though.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of the trailer?
I think it looked gorgeous. I don't care what any of those trolls are saying online about how awful the graphics get out of here. I think it looks awesome.
Dude, it's an RPG. It, like, doesn't have to have amazing graphics. It has to have amazing mechanics and amazing story.
World of Warcraft. Anyways.
Yeah, there
Well,
you go.
Fallout 3. Even when it came out, it was not the best looking game in the world.
And I still love the hell out of that one.
I will say, I hope they improved the aesthetic a lot from Fallout 3. because there were a lot of parts of the DC wasteland that were just incredibly boring.
Just
Well,
blah.
that, and I also, like, I mean, we saw in the trailer, there's a lot more color than there were in the other two games.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was
recently
gonna
came out.
mention.
But I also hope that it's a little more open. And I know they're large games to begin with, but, like, especially in Fallout 3, you were still limited to a lot of, like, not necessarily invisible walls, but it was very linear in a lot of the areas.
One thing I'd like to see, and it's something they've typically only done with DLC, but if they instanced areas.
Mm-hmm.
So they could make smaller proportional to, like, Fallout 3 and New Vegas areas, but just have several areas. Like, I'm okay with it not being a completely open world. Like, you spent a lot of time indoors anyway, so you were having loading screens.
I just don't want to see
Yeah.
those loading screens, though. That's the thing.
I don't know. With the technology we have now, I see them, you know, leaving
Have you
that
seen
seamless.
Bloodborne?
What? No, actually, I have no. I watched a little bit of the gameplay, but I mean, I think they mentioned like the new Batman was supposed to be pretty seamless. I mean, they did it with like Max Payne 3, didn't they? It was a little bit less of a like full transition.
No, it was all, well, they hid the
Little
loading
bit.
behind the cutscenes.
Yeah,
So that made it easier to deal with. But
yeah,
there
but
was
it's not
still
like
a lot of loading.
it's not like Mass Effect Elevator or anything. But
Watch them do the Tony Hawk American Wasteland seamless, where you're just going down that hallway and that's the loading screen.
Oh, God.
I never played those.
Yeah,
no loading,
that's a
buffering.
pretty funny
Tony
thing.
Hawk 2 or GTFO.
I don't know. I think it looks really cool. Like you mentioned, like there's more color to it.
Boston.
and It's Baston.
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 Can we get some chowder?
What are
Dog
some of the locations again?
Dog confirmed, yes.
A dog. I did read that people were like, I better be able to pet that dog. Like,
Pet a dog.
or else they wouldn't play the
I
game.
guarantee
No, I'm
there's
just
other people. I better be able to shoot that dog.
kidding. Aw. No.
You mentioned earlier, I guess people were speculating.
I don't
that it
condone
might
animal
be-
violence.
What's that, Steve?
I guess you mentioned earlier that people were speculating that it might actually be dog meat from Final Fantasy.
That's what
or
some from Final
Final
Fantasy.
from
Wow.
Fallout 4.
Crossover.
What Final
Let's-
Fantasy did you play?
Let's do
Nailed
it,
it.
Bethesda.
From
Fallout
Fallout
3.
3. That would be impressive.
Wait, was he from 3 or from New
He was
Vegas?
from 3, yeah.
From 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I kind of hope it isn't.
That would be really impressive because that's a long way for a dog to travel.
Oh, it is.
I feel like if it's that dog, though, like, me as a player, I might have more attachment to it because I know the dog.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like it should have, like, maybe come out of the vault with him, with
Yeah.
your character. Like, you would have more attachment to it that way.
That was actually kind of an interesting thing about the trailer is that they showed the dog right away with the main character in the Vault 111
111, yeah.
jumpsuit. So I'm curious if you start with the dog as a companion.
That's what I was wondering about.
That would be interesting. I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
Although to be totally honest, the dog wasn't always the best companion.
Honestly, I didn't really use companions in the game. I only did when I had to.
Yeah. Maybe not in the Fallout ones. I did a little bit in like Skyrim, but
Talking about Fallout.
I'm just saying it's along the lines of Bethesda. But yeah, as far as like Fallout goes, I didn't really have companions.
No.
I know what you mean. I didn't really use companions in Dishonored. I didn't.
Whatever.
No.
Yeah, so the trailer showed a lot of monuments familiar to Boston and
Baston.
what are they called? Bostonites?
Bostonians?
Bostonians, there you go.
Bostonites.
I don't know.
Sounds like a mineral.
I know, the only monument I recognized was the statue of Paul Revere. There's a
Yeah.
shitload of those, so I wasn't totally sure it was in Boston.
Well, I know that, Chris has mentioned like Fenway.
Fenway Park, yeah.
yeah.
That's actually that city, the really colorful city that they showed. It's like a baseball themed city. I think it's
How
called like
fun.
Diamond City or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there was a city inside Fenway Park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
There's
cool.
a
Yeah,
settlement
that's what it
in
showed in
there.
the trailer. It was all colorful.
Huh, that's
People
convenient
wearing
use of
baseball
land.
stuff.
Yeah, they're all
and-
wearing baseball like clothing and stuff. It's pretty funny. It's pretty awesome.
But yeah, the Paul Revere statue, the USS Constitution is
Which is
there.
now a flying ship.
It's kind of cool.
I think it's awesome.
From what they were showing, I'm actually a little bit curious if they're doing the same sort of thing that they did in New Vegas, where Boston wasn't directly hit with a nuke.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of structure still standing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's a little more colorful than the DC area.
Well, they also isn't Boston controlled by like the what are they called, the MIT guys, like the
Is it the Institute?
It's been a while.
Is that what they mentioned?
Yeah, something like that. The Institute, where they're all like scholars essentially, and it's like the
Steve's thinking real hard.
it's like the main place now for like technology.
The Enclave. Is that what you
mean? Is that the No, I don't think that's the Enclave. The Enclave were quote unquote bad.
Oh. You don't mean the Brotherhood of Steel, do you?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say they're everywhere.
Yeah,
the Institute. Yeah, they're called the Institute.
Based out of basically MIT.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so did they just have like a vault under MIT?
Probably.
If so,
it's like a giant think tank.
Freaking awesome.
Another thing a lot of people were pointing out was that when in the trailer it shows you coming out of the vault, it's vertical instead of horizontal. You're actually coming up in an elevator.
Oh.
And most of the other vaults, they slide open. Like a door, like a door, or like they just spin like a gear out of the way. But this one actually opens up and you come up like an elevator.
That's different.
And since, I guess something else I read or saw was saying how, 112 is the last vault made. Maybe the later vaults were like swankier and nicer. And
which, was it 112 that had that kind of Pleasantville like simulator where it was like
I think that had one of the simulations in it, yeah.
Not Pleasantville. Shh. We'll add that in editing.
That whole line of quests was weird. It creeped me out.
Yeah, it was really creepy, but it was fun.
Though.
Yeah, I had fun with that one.
That's what I like about Fallout though too. Is like it's an RPG. It's a lot of fun. You're shooting shit, whatever, but it has that creep factor to it.
Yeah.
And it still has like that dark sense of humor.
Yeah. Or like remember in 3, you could find random they're like little diners or whatever, and they'd be full of gore and like body parts, and like there'd be nothing in there, no creatures or anything, but you're like, okay, I just walked into something bad and I need to leave now because this is creeping me out.
Or the gore bags. I didn't realize what I was digging through, and it was all gore bags. Searched. I'm all, and I found like a skull in one. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Dang it, I was going to say something. Oh, and then like, was it the radio frequencies? With like when you can hear some of the noise in the radio frequency? That was creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like listening to some of that stuff.
I never listened to the radio in Fallout 3.
Yeah, there was one. Well, I think there was a couple of quests that were triggered by that. If you like go through the radio frequencies and you.
I only did if I had to, but by choice, like just walking around, just doing whatever. No.
Really, I loved that soundtrack.
The radio.
The radio,
music.
but like just the random noises or the static or. Yeah, no.
No.
I'm good.
Go ahead. Oh.
That. I actually forgot what I was going to say.
No.
While we were doing the thing.
Okay, well, there was some like mention, especially at the end of the trailer, how the main character actually talks. Now, how do you guys feel about that?
I don't think he should talk. That's just my opinion. I liked having. This is like one of the few times that I enjoy having a silent protagonist that I'm playing, because this is one of the few games where like that character is me. Like Mass Effect, whatever, that's their story, that's their character. I'm fine with that. That's what they're going with. But with Fallout, I liked having my character be me and then making those choices.
The one way I think that they'd be able to make that work is if they went the Witcher 3 route, where the text that you're selecting is verbatim what he says. And typically what they've done in Fallout is like when it shows your text, whatever you selected the page before is just the idea of the text.
Yeah, I like that.
And
wait, so you prefer verbatim or you prefer...
I think if they're going to do voiceover,
that's how he
it
sees
needs to be verbatim.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if they don't do the full voiceovers, if that was just something they did for the trailer, then I like the old style where you select sort of the idea of it and it fills in the rest.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, a lot of rumors going around now and speculation that Troy Baker is attached to the main character in this.
I'm willing to listen to him talk. No,
Who isn't? But
I mean, he's voiced so many like amazing characters for like 1,000,001 games, movies, anime, whatever.
Troy Baker's fantastic.
He's
but
great.
He doesn't have to be put into everything.
That was going to be my next thing. I mean, to what you were saying earlier with the whole Mass Effect thing. It was Shepard. Shepard had his own kind of goals, his own attitude, or her own attitude. So, having those voice, Mark Meir, Jennifer Hale, having those characters voiced was like a thing. But with Fallout's, with Bethesda, Skyrim's, with those characters, they're supposed to be you. So I think having that silence might be preferable, at least to most. I don't know. I'm kind of like on the
I mean, I'm not going to be like
for that.
poo-pooing on the game if
I'll still play
if there is voice for the main character.
Yeah.
I would just prefer not.
And actually, I just changed my mind. I would prefer there's no voiceover at all. And here's why.
Oh.
The intelligence stat. So in the past games, if you
yeah.
had very low intelligence,
You sound all stupid.
your stuff
Good
would
D&D
point.
style.
Good point.
And at the same time, if you had very high intelligence, you had better different responses
Yeah.
to stuff. So, like, I don't know if I want Troy Baker voice acting.
To sound
like,
really
Not only
lame.
that-
slightly mentally challenged main character.
you rolled a 1.
I know.
No, but not only that, that's also like all that dialogue is space on the disc that could be used for other things.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who uses discs anymore?
Right?
You know it's gonna be a friggin'
You know discs are used
95
to
gig.
unlock DLC?
You're gonna need an external hard drive to
Yeah.
download this
It's gonna be
game.
a
I'm
95
sure.
gig installation for your Xbox One.
Yeah.
I don't care. I would do it.
Yep. Still buy it.
I would delete every single game on my hard drive.
10 out of
I
10
think
would
at
buy.
that point I'm pulling the hard drive out of my Xbox One and installing a solid state
There you
drive.
go.
There you
Make it work.
go. So I think the consensus is we'd prefer no voice acting.
Preferably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In general, I'm gonna go with that.
But I'm not gonna cry.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not going to be like, oh, there's voice acting. Forget it. I don't want to go out there and buy it. I'm going to buy it. But yeah, I mean,
It's
actually,
the Fry meme.
Watch,
yeah, take my money.
Take my money.
watch them totally flip it on us, man. The guy from 111, not even the main character.
I know.
Ah,
that
yeah.
actually crossed my mind.
That's
He's the one trying to
Or what if
re-destroy the world.
no? What if he is the protagonist and you are the antagonist?
Oh
conspiracies.
my god, please do that. Oh,
Like let us have a good and evil where we actually matter.
oh my god.
Like let me make bad choices and then somehow evolve into an enemy that people want to kill and
to that
take
point, to that point, I really hope that they improve kind of the AI as far as like the good and evil meter.
Yeah, but that's an argument that's been said since Fable 1 when they really started doing the good and evil thing. Like choices matter, but they don't. Like they matter at the
But
moment.
they do matter, no.
They do for the
I want
first
it
two
to be-
games, but not for the third one.
I want
They
it to
can
be.
rewrite everything.
I think what you're saying too, and I think I agree, is you want it to be more dynamic. So if I make this choice now, say there's a little kid over here and he overhears me, that's gonna like echo through time or whatever. So when I'm like 20 years down the road, if I'm still alive, he's gonna remember what I said because it affected him, and come after me or try to help me or whatever.
Yeah, something along the lines of like.
I don't want it to be scripted.
Something that we've kind of, I think, listened to or read recently with like Telltale games. Telltale with their consequence system. Yeah, like you said, like if you find a house that's abandoned and they have food in there and you take that food, will that house belong to somebody? Well, then they end up like. Actually, I played this war of mine.
Oh yeah.
And I felt like shit. Okay, so I freaking raided this place and I took all the meds, took all the food. Turns out that place belonged to somebody, and I went back there later on just to kind of pick up some like plywood or something, and that person ended up dying
And I
because
like
I
that.
fucked
I
them
want
over.
every choice to matter,
Yeah.
no matter how big or small it is.
They did kind of touch on like the bare bones version of that in Skyrim, where like if you kill somebody, one of their relatives would come after.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or bounties, or
Yeah.
So yeah, they just need to take that a step farther. And actually, this War of Mine, if they could do something like that, if they could, oh my god, if they could capture the feels from that game.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I wrote a whole thing about actually an article or a blog, I think, about that game, and it was intense.
We need more moments in video games where just without thinking you shoot the sentry and then her little sister comes out and starts sobbing over her body.
Yep. I think I just did that in one of my last games for this.
That's what I want. That's my ultimate like sandbox game, I guess. Like Bethesda's sandbox game is just to have everything I do matter.
And have you question your humanity.
At the same time, on the other foot though, why am I so important that everything I do matters? So in that sense, I don't want every single thing to matter. I don't know. If I smoke a cigarette, is this guy gonna get cancer and then like die later? Like,
for the record, the data about that is grossly skewed.
Oh yeah.
As the only smoker here, current smoker here.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was just thinking about this War of Mine again.
Yeah.
Did you run into the scenario where you go into the supermarket and that girl's about to be kidnapped?
Oh yeah.
I ran into that in like 4 different playthroughs. And every time I was like, okay, I'm not going to save her this time. I keep dying.
Yep.
I keep losing my salvager. And then it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck,
Damn
I have
it.
to okay, I'm going to hide behind the door.
This time, yeah.
I'm going to hide behind the door. When he comes through, I'm going to knife him. And then he survives the knife and shoots you.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
No,
that's happened to me a couple times.
That's exactly how it is with like 9 out of 10 of the the good evil games.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, this time on Mass Effect, I'm gonna play through Renegade.
Yep.
I make my first Renegade choice and I feel like shit about it, and then I go through being Paragon the rest of the game.
Well, my problem is too is like going back to even like KOTOR 1 and 2, Jade Empire, same thing. Like exactly right. Make part 2. Anyway, so with like Jade Empire, I know with Jade Empire, with Mass Effect, like you were saying, like, okay, I'm gonna go through, or even KOTOR, I'm like, I'm gonna be a Sith this time, just because I really want to know how, that it affects everything. And no, I always run into the quest where it's like, please save my child, and I'm like, so I'm like obligated to help that person, and I feel like crap if I don't, and so I end up going the light way, I guess.
And that's another thing too. Like, I don't like that most of these games, it's like I said, I don't want scripted, but I don't like that you're given A or B.
Yeah.
A has this result, B has this result. No, I want A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Mm-hmm.
G and B can lead to result R or something. I want it to seriously branch and have... I mean, it doesn't have to change that much, but just some kind of differences, some kind of changes to where I feel like I actually mattered.
Well, kind of like your whole branching out instead of just that, one side or the other. I kind of think of like Heavy Rain, of the Walking Dead. Oh my gosh, I couldn't think of that right now.
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange, but it's just like,
so
instead of, like you can either go this way and you can walk to the left, or you go this way and walk to the right. But it's like okay, but if I walk to the right,
Red, green, or blue.
What was I going with this? But it's like, it's like how you get there can still branch out into like your C, D, E, and F's. Like, with Heavy Rain, it's like when he had to, slight spoiler, but it's like Heavy Rain where he had to like cut
5
off.
Years old.
But yeah, but it's like he had to cut off, his own like finger.
Oh yeah.
And how you cut off his finger.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there were different choices.
That's pretty brutal, yeah.
Oh, you haven't played it? Spoiler alert. Okay.
The controls were too bad. I'm never gonna play it.
Yeah, the controls were pretty.
They were pretty weird. I got over it because I liked it for the story. But anyway, yeah, just how you get to point A or to point B. I like the different choices in the branches there because then it affects, aesthetics. It affects, how they'll react to certain things depending on how you get there.
And ultimately, like, as far as like endings go, I don't care if there's like 3 endings. Let me have A through Z choices that potentially weave their ways to endings A, B, or C. Like,
That's actually, I mean, that's not that difficult to do. You can use kind of a point system sort of thing where, like, okay, you have X number of points toward A ending or X number of points towards B ending kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the result just kind of varies there.
Oh yeah, so power armor.
Yeah, there's like piecing together power armor, and the dog's like staring at it. So I wonder if that has anything to do with your character at all. People noticed a poster of all the different perks in the game. The different magazines you can pick up for like the stats. Nuka-Cola stuff, obviously.
Nuka-Cola.
Mr. Handy, chain gun, laser rifle, different weapons. So yeah, a lot of familiar stuff.
Ugh, I hope that... I wonder if there's Nuka-Colas that you have to, like, collect. I was stupid, and I freaking drank, like, the two quantums that I found, and I was, like, pissed, because they're, like, the rare
There's
ones.
the build stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
curious if, just from like the different stuff they showed in it, I mean, granted, it's not a lot of information.
Right.
I'm wondering if they're gonna go like a little bit more old school RPG than they did in the last two games, because those ones are sort of what we expect from the modern RPG, where it's very simplified, pretty straightforward.
No, I don't want it to be simple. I want a lot of depth.
That's what I mean. I wonder if maybe they're planning on going on that more intense RPG that they had in 1 and 2, and to a lesser degree Tactics.
Now, who was it that did New Vegas? It was Raven, right?
No, it was Black Isle.
Black Isle, that's right.
Or Obsidian.
Obsidian, okay.
Yeah.
I like Obsidian.
It was the team from Black Isle that
Yeah.
did 1 and 2.
I like some of Obsidian.
Okay, I'm like,
Anyway,
Obsidian did KOTOR 2.
Now, do you
but
think they'll
anyways.
bring back...
Whoa. KOTOR 2 is good. Not as good as
Ooh.
1, but it's still
Okay.
good.
Okay. Thank you for that follow up. Because no, KOTOR 1 I played all the way through. KOTOR 2 at
And they did fuck that game up a little bit because they ran out of money during development, but like all that led to was like 2 or 3 broken quest lines.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now, do you think they'll bring back from New Vegas the you need to eat, you need to drink, like you'll dehydrate and stuff?
Ooh.
If they do, I'm definitely not pre-ordering the game because that canteen was bullshit.
Oh god.
Hey, that saved my ass.
Dude, I have to throw that away every game, and for some reason it never works for me when I turn off the mods. So like when they gave all the mods away for free in the future, like I would just start every game with 1,000,000 items and have to just kind of dump them on the ground because I don't want to sell them because they're super goddamn valuable.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know they added that. See, I haven't played New Vegas yet, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, so basically, in like normal mode, what was it? Like you would, like the rate of hunger and thirst wasn't very bad, but then there was like hardcore mode and ranger mode or whatever.
The regular mode, you couldn't die from dehydration or starvation, but you would notice effects like your character would slow down or
Oh,
whatever. But if you played like the
Hardcore, I think it was,
hardcore mode, you could actually die from dehydration or starvation, so you had to actively
watch
food
your meters and stuff.
I think it had something to do with your like your limbs and stuff too, didn't it? Like you take limb damage.
When you took limb damage, you couldn't fix it with a stim pack. You had to have a med kit, and it took time.
If you were like low on anything? Is that what, oh, geez.
Well, that and just in general, like it didn't. If it's on hardcore mode, you can't just quick fix yourself with a med pack.
Right.
It's you have to actually take time.
And it gave this
or visit a doctor. You could also visit a doctor.
And it gave the survival skill any value at all.
Yeah.
Damn, that was a good game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard mixed reactions on it, to be honest.
I didn't care for it at first, but I ended up really liking New Vegas.
You know what would have blown my mind? Is if that countdown, what it led to, we patched Fallout 3 so that it would work on modern systems. Getting that game to work is so hard.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, dude, it's such a pain in the ass. Like, unless you have a shit PC. But mine is not a shit PC.
The one time you want a shit PC.
Yeah,
Fallout 3.
Actually, quite a few times, like, thinking about old games, I've considered just buying really shit parts and building, like, a PC running,
just
like,
for that.
Windows 2000.
Oh, jeez.
Just so I could play, like, Black and White and Black and White 2.
Oh, yeah.
And, Fallout. And actually, Batman Arkham Asylum like barely works on Windows
Oh, wow.
7. It's such a pain in the ass to get it working. What were we talking about? Yeah, Fallout 4.
Fallout 4, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good, looks like a good game. I'll
So,
play it. Super happy.
Final thoughts.
I'm-
Fallout 4.
10 out of 10 would buy. Guaranteed.
This is the most hype I've been about video games
Honestly.
in a long time, and it's not.
Gotta be careful
it's
of that hype.
Fallout and XCOM 2 and some other stuff was announced, and like I've been very pessimistic and cynical about most video game launches for a while now.
Yeah.
And
Well, 2014 really burned a
It,
lot
yeah.
of us,
It.
so...
Yeah.
and it feels weird to be like excited and
Right.
happy. And,
Well, it feels weird, but it also feels scary. Like I don't want to get. It's like a bad relationship. You're like, I just don't want to get burned again.
yeah.
But then again, you got to think about, again, how long have they been working on this? Maybe,
We don't know.
perhaps, we don't know.
Also-
Hopefully a
They
long
started
time.
when they were working on Rage.
Maybe. So, I mean, they've had time to really work on that as opposed to games mentioned before where it's like put out every year. And but
Who
yeah, I
does
mean,
that?
some time, some thought, some effort. I mean, not to say anything against those other games, but it's like a lot has been put into this, I'm sure.
No. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just, just a thought.
They mentioned that they also have stuff to announce at E3. What do you guys think that'll be? Do you think
Release
Steve
date,
said,
hopefully.
do you think they're going to show actual gameplay, or are we going to see a new IP or a returning IP that's not Fallout? Like,
From
what do you guys think?
From what I've heard, I think they actually have a demo, and don't quote me on this, but I've heard rumor mill that this has been
Those rumors, though.
that this has an actual like demo put together. So I mean, maybe those attending E3 or whatnot get to actually experience that. Which would be
like
cool.
the actual E3 people,
Actual
like goers will
gameplay.
get to play it,
Yeah.
or is this just
Or
going to be like
maybe
a
a
behind closed
demo,
doors, or like at the press
possibly.
event kind of thing?
Who knows?
I could see like what they did with Destiny, where they just had the
People play it.
sort of pre-recorded gameplay.
Yeah,
thing.
where we saw the same footage
Or
like 20 times.
like Division, they did that. Watch Dogs.
They're
Division.
going to announce that Bethesda is working on Half-Life 3.
You know what? I actually almost said that like 5 minutes ago.
I thought you were gonna say like Silent Hills, but anyway.
Silent Hills. That is for
Could you
Sunday's show.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Also, you just pulled up. Three Dog is coming back.
3 Dog?
It
Yeah,
says
the
fingers
voice actor
crossed.
tweeted.
Fingers crossed.
I'm pretty sure he's coming
I'm
back.
hoping. I like
If he
listening to the radio.
tweeted something like there may be more of the dog coming, fingers crossed, then they're in contact with him, or he's been voicing already. So
That would be rad. I would be in.
Three Dog was
I know.
cool.
You
That's
have
like
to
the
go-
only radio that I would listen
You
to.
have to go to the most bottom eastern corner of the map, and you can hear like really static.
Dog. Yeah. No, he was cool.
I don't know. I hope to see. I always like seeing new IPs. I really want to see Dishonored 2. Real bad,
I'd be pretty into that.
especially on next gen.
Yeah.
But
I mean, shocking. I've never played it, but I watched you play it a little bit, and it's
Yeah.
got a really cool like setting.
yeah,
I really like.
it's like
setting.
steampunk light,
Yeah.
but it's not steampunk. It's I don't know. I really like the atmosphere of that game.
Yeah. I'd be in. I'd play it.
I mean, of all the companies, I mean, we keep talking about 2014 being a bad year. But of all the companies, to be honest, like Bethesda hasn't really seen, knock on wood somewhere, hasn't really seen that list of feeling so burnt. I mean, no, I didn't really get to experience too much of Dishonored, even though you loved it so much. But with Skyrim, I mean, I loved it. I loved the heck out of it.
I love it despite its issues, like the way people are receiving Witcher 3. Like it's full of bugs still, but everyone's loving it. No one's talking trash about it. Like it's, they're able to look past the bugs, which is really curious when you think about like Assassin's Creed Unity
and that one just got
stuff like that. Like
bashed.
people didn't like it, and then the bugs just made it worse. Whereas Witcher 3, it's The Witcher 3, so everyone's like, yeah. And then there's the bugs, and then people are like, oh, Witcher.
Oh, you.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
Headless like floating head sex.
Yeah.
That's
With the bodies like standing there
or
still.
the flying horses and stuff.
Oh,
That's
man.
pretty awesome.
But yeah, still
Yeah.
would play it.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to this E3 in general. I think there's a lot of good games coming up. I know we say that every year, but Fallout got announced,
Finally.
so that's a good start.
Actually, one thing about this E3 that I think really needs to happen, and I don't know one way or the other whether it's going to or not, there needs to be some console announcements. Like
From Nintendo?
from all of them. Xbox One, I think, has the largest library right now, and it's still not very impressive. Like, and we're on the second year of these consoles being out. It's
Finishing
time
up the
for-
second year, yeah.
Yeah, it's time for some games to come out.
Like, what
And
games are
no-
missing?
Just like any amount of library at all. Like we've got Call of Duty and the Showpiece Racer games. That's not enough.
Hey, there's Master Chief Collection. And The Order.
God.
Hey, The Order looked good. Okay?
Showpiece.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, between the Order,
Trophy wife.
Uncharted, I was trying to pull that one up earlier. Until Dawn. Is that the
That
name
looks
of it?
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Until
that's the
Dawn.
one you played at Expo last year.
I mean, that's another one of those choice consequence type games with all these
It's very, like,
multiple endings.
B-movie
slasher,
but
from,
it's
like,
it looks
90s.
like B-movie slasher with like Saw mixed in a little bit because of the choice. It's kind of interesting.
I wonder if Nintendo will like give any information about their console. I know they've like officially announced it's gonna be a
Like
console.
the console or the new handheld, the new 3DS or whatever.
The console.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really,
I know,
this early?
I know they've officially confirmed it's gonna be a console, but I wonder if they're just gonna have any information about it. Like,
I don't know because the Wii U is finally starting to surge again.
Thanks to its amiibos and Smash.
Yeah.
and Splatoon.
Hey,
Oh,
if
yeah,
there's
Splatoon, yeah.
if there's
looks
one thing
great.
Nintendo knows, it's freaking like addictive hobby games like collecting Pokemon or collecting amiibos.
Who
They-
started Skylanders? Was that all
That's
systems
Activision.
at once, or
Oh, like which console?
yeah?
I think that was all systems at once.
Oh, okay.
I think so too.
360, PS3, and Wii,
I would think it would.
and came out on the 3DS.
guys, don't buy figurines for your games. It's stupid. Play Pokemon instead.
Ah, and collect those. Catch them all.
But my Martha's level 50.
Ah.
You tell that Mark to get fucked.
Wait, I'm sorry. Delayed reaction. Did you just say a new DS?
It's
New 3DS.
yeah, like the new handheld or whatever.
Wow.
I don't know anything about it. I just saw a name or something like that, but
Oh, you don't mean the new 3DS?
not the one with the second nub stick thing.
They're
No,
making
like
another?
a new handheld. It's Nintendo. Come on, why do you guys act so surprised? They have to
God
put.
damn
It's
it,
like
I
it's
just
part of
got a
their.
3DS.
It's part of their creed. Like they have to put out a new handheld every year,
I know, right
at least
after,
once a year.
Right after we got
Sometimes
the 3DS.
3 times.
The
Will
3DS
it be backward
XL.
compatible? Actually, it's
It'll be
Nintendo,
backward
so yeah.
compatible with only the games that are available for it. Make sense of that how you will.
What? But yeah, no, it's like right after we got the 3DS XL, they had like the 2DS and the new one with that new nub.
Yeah.
And so I was just like,
They're gonna do the same thing they did with the past systems, where it's backward compatible only to the most recent
Yeah.
handheld. So like, sorry, your Game Boy Color games aren't gonna work in here, but your Game Boy Advance games will work.
and then later on, Game Boy Advance.
No, it's only gonna be DS and
Or bust.
what's the other one? DS.
3DS?
DSi.
Oh, DSi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Those were the
forgot
same-
about that.
Oh no,
There was a notch at the
that was a
bottom.
little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah.
DSi.
Fucking DSi. Kidding me.
Nintendo.
It has enhanced network functions. Thank you. That could have been an update.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Nintendo, the announcement, the Nintendo World Championships, isn't that taking place during E3?
During E3, yeah. I
Okay.
think that's what it showed last time.
Good old Reggie.
Man, I want E3 to just happen so we can talk about other
Hey,
things.
next week.
So I was gonna
Next
say,
week.
isn't it like a week away?
Yep.
Woo!
So we will be covering it.
Yay.
That is all.
That is all. Go away.
The end.
Just wear a clean pair of boxers.
No.
Or none.
Actually, no, don't. Because then you'll have to wash less.
Yeah.
Can we just go commando? I hate these jeans.
And with that, thank you for listening, everyone.
And we will see you on Monday.
Catch you on the flip side.
Monday or maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, or something.
Someday during the week at some point.
With our Sunday broadcast.
You stay classy, San Diego.